Welcome, everybody, to Selling Value, Not Technology. I've created a short presentation on selling value, right? Because C level and VP level executives do not want to hear tech talk. They're not, they don't like it. And it's boring. It's exciting for you IT guys, but trust me when I say executives don't like it. Now, let's kick this off and start off with just a quick overview on the MSP Corner, what we're all about, and why we started the MSP Corner. We founded a managed security service provider, over 20 years ago, and we work with a lot of IT firms, and we understand their struggles. We understand the challenges. I mean, we had so many struggles in the beginning. If I can go back 20 years, and with the knowledge I know now, I would be doing things so differently. But what information is going to be available on the MSP Corner? I'll make it quick. How to sell value, right? How to position your organization so you're the ideal fit for your ideal client. It's a very key, two key words there: ideal client, ideal prospects. So, how are you going to do that? Selling value? Well, there's going to be lots of information available to you. Marketing, a lot of you, and 99.999% of you, rely on word of mouth or references. So you need to get an understanding of what marketing strategies work for MSPs. We have implemented several, and let me tell you, when you become the online authority for a set of key phrases, you get a ton of traffic going to your website. But that's just a little quick preview of what's to come. But there's lots of marketing strategies out there. So, what's going to work? Well, we're going to have the framework available to you so you can follow a step by step plan on what to do for email marketing, online marketing, PPC. So just on and on. LinkedIn, right? I mean, there's so many options for you, but we want to provide information so you guys are able to attract your ideal client. That's the name of the game. Attraction, not solicitation. Scaling. Some of you walk away from opportunities because you don't have the bandwidth or the skill set. So, how are you going to scale? We solve that problem for you. So, stay tuned. The information is coming. Templates. I've seen many managed service agreements, and they lack that protection for a lot of you, right? Because you want to pitch that managed service agreement where you're like, hey, it's all inclusive, it's unlimited support, et cetera, et cetera. But there has to be clauses in there that protect you from client abuse. So we have amazing templates for managed service agreements, statements of work, proposals, presentations, all at your fingertips. Resources, again, we're going to have shows on which tech stack you should have, right? I mean, we've been in business for over 20 years, and we use a specific RMM tool and security tools, and we'll be discussing those. And but there's going to be lots of resources available to you, such as, let's say you have a client that has hundreds of employees and they need a 24/7 help desk. Well, there's going to be resources available to you. Okay, so we don't want you guys walking away from an opportunity because you don't have the bandwidth. All right, so that's what we're going to be offering on the MSP Corner. And I hope you guys join, because there's going to be a lot of beneficial information. All right, so let's kick this off on selling value, not technology. What do I mean by taking inventory is I want you guys to create a list of your ideal client. If you don't have an ideal client, let's say you're just starting off, you're building a side hustle. Well, create a profile. And what do you do by creating a profile or that ideal client is really it comes down to your skill set. Which technology do you know like the back of your hand? I mean, you know inside and out, because your client, your prospective client, has specific challenges with specific technology. If you walk into a legal department and you're like, "Hey, I understand everything, all the SaaS apps that come with an attorney or should have in place," they're going to love to hear that type of information because attorneys' offices want to work more efficiently. They want to be productive. They want to have accurate timesheets. So tracking time for clients or for attorneys is big, right? Because that's their billable hours. So having those technology requirements is going to be really key to building that ideal client. So if you're building a side hustle, hey, you're working at a you could be working at a huge corporation right now and you're gaining knowledge. So whatever technology you get certified for, or say you work at a biotech company and you're like, hey, I can support biotech firms, right? I can start a side hustle supporting small biotech firms or pharmaceutical firms because I know all the applications that they need to implement. So keep that in mind. Location. What is your I come across so many websites that don't say anything about what location they support. Okay, so make sure that your website says we're supporting the San Francisco Bay Area and et cetera, et cetera. So take inventory of the clients in your area, where you support them, et cetera. So keep that in mind. Pain points. Again, this goes hand in hand with technology requirements because your prospective client is going to have a lot of challenges. You're going to have to have answers for those challenges. All right? So keep careful notes and take inventory of who you're supporting. And this is where you're going to have some huge help on increasing your close percentage. You're going to have achievements, right? You're going to explain and give examples to whoever you're meeting with and say, hey, we work with 10 other attorney offices here in San Francisco. We understand their challenges, and this is what we've done to help them be more productive, right? When a prospective client hears that you're working with an other, the same industry as they're in, it's going to increase your chance of closing the opportunity because I can guarantee they're interviewing three other MSPs. So if there's four of you being interviewed, you have a 25% chance of landing the opportunity. It's going to increase exponentially. Okay. If you're the only one what's working with attorneys, because if the other three are not, let's say they have one office or they're supporting a couple of offices in the legal industry and you have 10, yeah, you're gonna show that you're the leader in that area. So be ready. All right. When you're in a meeting or a Zoom call, I need you guys to get in the habit of listening. Ask for questions and listen because the direction you're going to go in is you want your prospective client to vent. They're meeting with you for a reason. They're meeting with you because they're unhappy. They either have there's a number of scenarios. The CEO is doing support, right? Or one of the executives because they're more technically inclined. They have an they have an MSP in place and they're unhappy. Why are they unhappy? Because they're meeting with you for a reason. So keep that in mind. They have an IT guy on site. They're spending too much money. They're 20% office and the CEO understands that, hey, we don't need a full-time guy here. We should outsource. He's a single point of failure, right? So there's lots of reasons why they're meeting with you. You need to get that information. So when you have a sales process, you want to capture the following information, right? You want to jot down every challenge, unstable network, uh, the response time is slow, right? Terrible account management. There's going to be a lot of reasons why they're unhappy, right? Skill set is not meeting our specific requirements for our SaaS apps, whatever. You guys need to extract as much information as you can so you position your organization as that leader, the authority in their industry. Remember, you want to be the authority. You're the influencer for that industry, and you're going to prove it during your sales process. So, one of their goals might be, hey, our entire infrastructure is on premise. We're in Hurricane Alley in Florida, and we understand that we're rolling the dice every year. So we want to migrate to the we want to migrate to the cloud. Jot it down, keep it in mind, because you're going to address that later when you're getting ready to close. So write down all their goals. Concerns. Look, concern and pain points are very different. At least that's the way I see them. Because if you have a company in Florida and you have an IT firm that is local and they don't have the bandwidth to, let's say, support their upcoming new office in Texas, they're like, hey, we're going to be opening an office in 6 months, and our current IT firm does not have an office in Texas. So we're going to that is a concern for us. Are you going to be able to help us in that area? So listen to their concerns. All right. So when I say pole position, what I really mean is when you put somebody through a sales process, you want to persuade them into deciding on their own on what you're going to respond with. Because remember, you've collected data, you've collected information on their pain points. Now you're going to have an answer for them. So, for example, remember, let me emphasize, keep it short. Mr. Prospect, during our discussion, you mentioned that you have an unstable network, right? Okay, well, our clients don't have that. We're proactive, which means we predict issues before it disrupts our client's network. So let's check that box off. You're not going to have that concern with us because our clients don't have unstable infrastructures. We have a proactive and preventative maintenance plan. So let's check that box off and agree that you're not going to have that if you hire us. Okay. So remember, keep it short. And when you say it with confidence and say it with authority. Because remember, you're building trust with this prospect. They don't know you. They're getting ready to hand the keys to the kingdom to you. So they came to you, yes, but you still have to sound. You got to have credibility and you got to build trust, and you're doing that by building rapport. But the references are the ones that are going to are the ones that are going to put you over that concern for that prospect, because that's going to be really key. Now, a partner helps their clients achieve goals, right? So, you know, I don't like to call myself a vendor because a vendor is really just providing something. They're like, hey, Mr. Vendor, I need something. Here's some money. Okay, here's that technology. All right. Well, thank you. You walk away. A partner is gonna be part of is gonna be heavily involved with all their clients, right? And you want to help them achieve goals. And how do you do that? Well, by meeting with them each month and saying, okay, what can we do to help you achieve your next goal? Oh, we want to get to the cloud. All right, let's come up with a plan, and this is what we're going to do. Now, a partner also illustrates how they're going to continue improving the relationship, the partnership, right? So, for one example, because we come across this a lot, is we're like, Mr. Client, I see that Tom, based on our reporting and our tickets, the tickets that are opened each month, we see that Tom in marketing, or Tom in sales, or Tom in development has opened 10 tickets in the last month. And we've determined that his computer is 5 years old. I think it's time for Tom to get a new computer. And so he's not opening up so many tickets, right? I know you want Tom working, not on support calls to solve a hardware issue or a storage issue or whatever, right? You want Tom working. So always improving, always helping the client improve how their operations, the operations at their business. All right. They will appreciate that. So when you're addressing concerns, always use an example. Keep it short, right? Because if you're in Florida and you're solving disaster recovery plan, a disaster recovery strategies for your clients, keep it short. Just say what you did and move on, because you want your prospective client to relate and they want to know that you helped an attorney's office get their on-premise to the cloud, right? So keep it short. Now, how are you going to go for the kill? Well, you want to have um, references to address each concern. All right. And when you have positioned yourself into addressing each concern, you're going to ask them a question, because you've checked off every box based on, you're going to have to ask them, do you consider us the ideal fit for your organization? I've addressed all of your concerns. We've checked off every box. And would you say we're the ideal fit? And we're working with, 10 other legal firms in your area, right? Our clients don't have concerns. They don't have problems because we're proactive. We want to be there for you when there are problems, but I think it's more valuable to prevent problems from happening. We don't want to be firemen. We want to be proactive. We want to prevent that fire from happening. So be ready, keep it short, and listen to their response. Now, does price matter? Ask them. Does price matter if we eliminate productivity and efficiency challenges? And they say, yeah, price is gonna matter a little bit. So, well, what's that budget? Right? Because you want to determine, do they have a bottled water budget, and do they do they have uh, a water bottle budget, but they want champagne. They want that water to taste like champagne. Well, that's, you guys are on different spectrums, right? It's just not going to work. So you want to get that answer quickly if they share that budget, right? One of the other one point you want to make, because you're an MSP, is, look, we're not only are we going to predict issues before they become a problem, we're going to predict issue. We're going to provide you with a predictable cost each month. So, emphasize that. All right. All right, guys. That's it. I promise to keep it short. I'm not I'm not big on having these long and drawn out presentations, because I know many of you are busy. I know that a lot of you want to get to the point. So, but I thank you for listening. I'm going to encourage you to join the mspcorner.com. We're going to have a lot of great information. We're going to have a lot of great shows. We're going to have a lot of resources available to you. So please join. And if you have any questions, send us an email, info@mspcorner.com.